rupees has been in news since the last few months prominently. Now, the reason of that was the depreciating nature of the Indian currency, specifically against the dollars. Then again, the Indian currency was in news because the government was thinking about replacing the 100% cotton paper based notes through the polymer notes, or by the polymer notes. And now even the pilot project for the same for 10 and 20 rupees have been approved, wherein now very soon you will see 10 and 20 rupees polymer notes. Now all that we have covered previously. So currency has been in news. Again, it is coming in news because it is now understood, of course, that the Indian currency that is there, it has beaten US dollars. Now in what? Is in terms of value? Absolutely not. Then in what terms? In the terms of the amount of currency in circulation with respect to the volume or the number of currency or the number of notes. So that is why it's in news. Let us understand what is the quantum, how many more notes are there in the market as compared to dollars, and why is that the case, and why even with the increase in the UPI or the digital payments, we still need so much of cash, and why still so much of currency in hard cash is in circulation. So as I mentioned, the news is about India having more banknotes in circulation by volume. Remember, not by value, by volume. UPSC can give a statement and say by value, which is incorrect. It is by volume. Now, India, we have approximately 176 billion banknotes, whereas if you talk about the dollars, there are only 56 billion banknotes of dollars, 30 billion of euros. Now, what's the key point of this? The key point is that Indian currency, if you look at it, the number is more than 3 times that of dollars. In fact, it is more than double even if you combine dollars and euros. So that is the news all about. Let us now see why the cash is so prevalent in India and what the future holds for hard cash. Before we move ahead, and a special announcement with respect to the new batches that are starting at Legacy IAS Academy with a maximum size of only 40 aspirants. Now we offer regular as well as weekend batches. The regular batch, the next one is already started in August. The coming will be starting on 7th of September, then November. Plus you have weekend batches specifically tailor-made for college-going aspirants or working professionals, which is going to start from 10th of October, then December, and one has recently started. So once you enroll with Legacy IAS Academy, there are a lot of advantages. Some of them are listed here, like the comprehensive coverage of the syllabus. The game changer would be one-on-one mentorship, doubt solving, and the regular interactions you will have with the educators, the experts that you just saw over here. In addition to this, daily mains answer writing practice will be there. We offer prelims as well as mains test series so that Legacy IAS Academy becomes your one-stop solution for UPSC journey. With respect to current affairs, we have a 360-degree approach wherein the prelims as well as for mains, the current affairs will be covered in an integrated manner via the live lectures. Now, in addition to this, the optionals are also very important. Probably the most important decision of your UPSC journey is to which optional you should select. We have the 4 most popular optional, that is psychology with a very concise syllabus. Then you have PSIR, which helps you in GS2, governance, polity, international relations. So it helps a lot in GS. Then you have anthropology, probably the smallest syllabus of any optional, plus sociology helps you in Indian society, wherein 8 to 9 questions are being asked from Indian society in GS paper 1. So the 4 most popular optionals are available at Legacy IAS Academy. If you are trying to attempt in 27 or 28, you should enroll in the optional courses beforehand so that you are prepared with your optional way before, well in time. If you want to enroll with us, you can simply scan the QR code, log on to the website, or call on the numbers given. Now let's move ahead with the news. So what is India's currency stock? We have already seen 176 billion banknotes currently are in circulation. Now this is not any single banknote. Of course, we have our 10 rupee, 20 rupee, 100, 50, 200, 500, 2000 rupee notes as well. However, one thing you have to remember is 2000 rupee notes are being taken back as such. For example, if you deposit the 2000 rupees, if you might be having right now in a bank, and tomorrow you want to withdraw from the ATM, 2000 rupees are no longer coming out of the ATM. Now, does that mean that 2000 rupees have been demonetized? Absolutely not. They are still legal tenders. They have not been demonetized, but the fresh ones are not coming out. Why? Simply because the government realized that it is easier to save cash of illegal, corrupt, black money in the form of 2000 rupee note, right? So that was the whole point, to demonetize 1000 rupee note and bring a smaller valuation. But they also brought in a 2000 rupee note, which now they have taken back. So this 176 billion banknotes consist of various valuations that are there. The dominant denomination with respect to the value is the 500 note. It constitutes the largest share of currency value in circulation. So if you talk about the value, it's the 500 notes which is highest in value. Now the question is, why does India have so many notes? So India's currency, we are a mix of lower value denomination, mix of relatively weighted towards lower value of denomination. What does this mean? This means that a person who will be holding, let's say, cash, that person will have more of lower denomination. Now, why is that the case? See, poverty, low per capita income is also a reason. Let's say tomorrow everyone earns lakh rupees per month, right? They would be withdrawing 500 rupee notes, 10,000, 15,000, etc., etc. Now a poor daily wage laborer is earning 150 rupees and going and transacting, buying rice or some vegetables, will get change 10, 20, 50 rupees. So that is also one of the reasons to have a dominance of low value notes, right? So lower value denominations, more physical notes are required to conduct these transactions. They change hands also very fast, so they get soiled also, damaged also fast, so they need to be taken back by the RBI, and new banknotes also has to be brought in again. So the expenditure is also high on this lower denomination. Now let us see the concept of India's cash paradox. Now what is the concept of cash paradox? See, on one hand, our digital payments are increasing. Now, by the amount or the degree or the percentage by which it is increasing, by the similar percentage, the cash transaction should go down. Now, the cash transaction is going down, but not at the same rate. In fact, what is happening is the increase of the cash transactions, the percentage of the increase has lowered, and some quarters you will also see a slight dip, but the volume or the value of cash transaction is still increasing. So that is the paradox that we see over here, wherein digital payments are rising, but the currency in circulation in the form of cash is also rising in India. Now, how is this happening? It's just that it is rising at a slower pace. Without digital payments, it would have risen by a higher percentage. That is our cash paradox, right? So the question is, how does RBI know how much note to print? Is it backed by gold standards? Is it dependent on gold, amount of gold we have? Absolutely not. Why not? Because see, decades back, when gold was there, humongous, and the growth of economy was not much, we thought enough gold is there, let's back the rupee or dollars. For example, dollars was also backed by gold previously, so let's back the dollars by gold, for example. But then what happened? Economy started expanding in an exponential manner, whereas the gold reserves were not expanding to that level. So you will have to detach the two. The two got detached then itself. So how does RBI estimate the cash? RBI uses a 5-year forward projection. For the next 5 years, how much they have to print is what they estimate. How? Based on two main things. One is the transaction demand, the other is the replacement demand. Replacement demand is very simple. How many notes will be spoiled, will be soiled, will be destroyed, will be damaged, which needs replacing, that decides this. This is transaction demand because there will be growth in the GDP, there will be interest rates which will be there. Imagine 100 rupees is brought in circulation by the RBI at 5.25% interest rate. So how much RBI should get back? 105.25. From where it will come? For that also you have to print the currency. GDP growth, food inflation, which basically lowers the value of the currency. So hence more currency would be needed to buy same number of the products, and when the product numbers are increasing, then of course you will have to have more currency. So these are the criteria based on which RBI basically estimates. And how is the currency management done? I'll explain in simple terms that all the currency notes except for 1 rupee note are printed by RBI, and all the coins plus that 1 rupee currency note is minted and printed by the government of India, right? And there are 4 printing presses. 2 printing presses are owned by RBI, the other 2 are owned by the government of India. Now, when government of India is printing only 1 rupee note, why are they owning 2 printing press? Because there are other things to print as well. For example, the stamp paper as well, right? So this is how the currency is managed. Now we saw that the notes and minting of coins are done by RBI and government of India combined, is what I've explained. But the bringing of the currency into circulation in the market is exclusively done by RBI. So this is how the currency is managed in India. And now you know what are the basis of printing the amount of notes that we print. So these facts are going to be very important for your prelims. That's about it for today. Make sure you subscribe to Legacy IS Academy's YouTube channel. Hit that bell icon so you are notified whenever we go live or upload a video. Keep learning. Thank you.